Playblast, it's very important to make sure that your animation is working in the correct time. When you're using a very slow and chunky computer, your animation might move more sluggishly. If you're using a very powerful computer, the animation might flip. So this particular little thing here is best avoided because it can be misleading. So what we want to do is to check that the animation is running on time. So first of all, let's check that it's 24 frames per second. Save. And now we'll Playblast it. Playblasting is something you should be doing whenever you're animating to just check that everything's under control. So if you do right-click on this bar down at the bottom, Playblast, and open up the little box. So here's our Playblast box. And actually, before we do anything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this. The Playblast captures whatever is on the screen. So here I'm going to position this girl right in the centre. And I'm also going to hide all these extra bits. What I want to do is I want to see her animation. I don't particularly want to see all her rig at this stage. I just want to see her clean with her animation. So I'm going to hide everything. So show, none. And then just re-show the polygons. And I'm just going to deselect. So there we've got her animation, nice and clean, with no confusing rigging in the way. And now we're ready to Playblast. So right-click, Playblast, open up little box. Come down here and save to file. In this case, I'm just going to drop it onto the desktop. So I'm going to go click desktop, give it a name, test dance. Ooh, that'll do. And do save, and then click Playblast. And as you can see, it's basically going to run through in a slow render. This is just the kind of rendering that's going on. It will save it as a little QuickTime onto the desktop, and you can play that QuickTime and you'll see everything moving at its correct speed. So it will run through the entire sequence. If you start a Playblast and you think, oh, you know, I only wanted frames 1 to 500 and now it's going to run all the way to 1 to 2450, you can always press escape and that'll stop it. At this point you've escaped it. And here's your Playblast. Should work. There she is. Of course, if you just left her, she would have gone through the entire animation.
Cool.
So it's a really nice way of checking. One last thing. If you're rendering a Playblast on a computer with the sound attached, you should be able to hear the sound playing as you're watching the Playblast. However, the way Maya does this is it references back to wherever it was you saved that piece of sound. So if you burn this Playblast onto a CD and hand it over to me, my computer will be looking for where you put the music on your computer. So I might not necessarily get to hear the sound. This is why for the handing I want to have 3 Playblasts where I can basically look at your animations. But I also want you to get together in a group and do a separate render where you make sure that you've got your animation and your sound rendered out as a proper QuickTime using After Effects or Final Cut Pro. And there I can see your work moving to sound, and I'm sure that it's going to work, rather than risking it with the Playblast. So don't rely entirely on the Playblast for showing me the sound. I need to have that extra piece of animation. But as I say, you can get together in groups. You'll be each given at the end of the crit a scene with everybody's characters all dancing in the same scene. It's up to you to get together and go, right, we're going to render out this scene. You can put it together into Final Cut Pro or whatever. And you can each hand in the same final rendered version. I don't mind if you'll work together on it and save yourself some time. I just need to see everybody's animation running to music. So that's my main thing. Okay?
Thanks.